These are 10 Instagram mistakes that you might be making that are killing your growth on Instagram. I'm Chris and I run a media company where we get millions of views every single month. I help businesses grow. I have a handful of large brands myself. What I'm saying is I live and breathe content creation and socials. And Instagram is a huge part of that. So let's get into it, guys. 10 mistakes you're making on Instagram that are killing your growth. The number one mistake you're probably making on Instagram is you're posting random stuff at random times. Maybe you're that person that's like, hey, I'm gonna upload on Instagram because I haven't in a while. What should I upload? That's a problem. What you need to do is go into it with a plan of attack. You need to get into your viewer's head and think of content that they want to see from you. Maybe you're a business owner trying to sell to customers. Get into the viewer's mind. What content do they need to see in order to follow me or buy from me in my business? Another huge mistake I see people making on Instagram is they're not posting enough reels. I know it's really popular on Instagram to mainly publish photos, but they have proof that reels actually do better. And what's cool about reels is you can not only post them on Instagram, but we can cross-post them on other platforms like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, X.com. So with one reel, we can cross-post to like 5 or 6 platforms. Whereas that one photo, well, it's mainly only popular to publish photos on Instagram. Well, maybe Facebook. Publish more reels. On average, people find that publishing 3 to 5 reels a week on Instagram helps their growth tremendously. Another large mistake I see people making on Instagram is not having hooks in their videos. You need to ask yourself, how are your videos standing out and getting attention? Have movement, move around. Here's a hook. Maybe move the camera around like this. See this? Gains more attention than just standing there. With short form content like reels, we need hooks in the beginning of like the first 0 to 5 seconds. You need to be getting people's attention. How are you going to stand out? How's your content going to be different? Nobody wants to watch a talking head video for too long because it gets boring. Consider adding B-roll to your footage as well. Another huge mistake I see people making on Instagram is not introducing trends and sounds that are going viral. I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate the whole idea of sounds and like songs going viral on these socials because I feel like it should be more about the content because I'm a content guy. But using certain songs that are going viral in sounds can drastically increase your views, guys. We've tested it. It does make me sad, but that's just how it is, especially on TikTok and Instagram. So consider learning some of these trends and getting on board with what the kids are doing, right? Another huge mistake I see people doing on Instagram is they're using the wrong hashtags. And I get, we're all trying to go viral, so we're using those viral hashtags, but we have found with a lot of evidence that if you actually stay within a certain niche of hashtags, your content does a lot better. So like for this content you're watching, it's hashtags that are related to content creators, influencers. And I use the same or similar hashtags for all these videos. It just helps the algorithms find our audiences. So when you're using different hashtags that are all over the place and trying to go viral, it actually somewhat confuses the algorithms. And I know this is dorky marketing talk, but it does make a difference, guys. My long-term advice would be to try to use similar hashtags, a handful of them, for all of your content. Another mistake I'm seeing tons of people make on Instagram is they're not engaging on other accounts. What I try to do is create the For You page on Instagram or TikTok or these algos to be the same exact niche of what your content is on. So if you're in the pets niche, for example, your For You page or your algo, the newsfeed browse page, should also be on pets. I'm totally convinced that whatever that is and it's connected to your account, the two kind of come together. And it also allows you to spy on your competitors. A lot of people don't think of this, but what you can do is just scroll through the feed and see what your competitors are doing and what's going viral, and then go and do something similar. I'm not saying copy their content, but something similar can take off as well. Another mistake a lot of people make on Instagram is not utilizing stories. More people are watching these stories than what we'd ever think. I'm not gonna claim to be a genius on Instagram stories, but I do know you need to put the time into posting them. Especially as small businesses, we've seen a huge increase in sales by just publishing stories. It seems really simple, but it can really move the needle. I also see tons of people making this mistake on Instagram, not having call to actions in your content. And you might be wondering, what is a call to action? Well, you have to ask yourself, why are you creating this content? And the call to action should answer that question in itself. For example, if you're a business owner, you should be creating content that is aimed at your customers to get into your business and buy. So your call to action in your videos would be to come buy cars from us or whatever business you're doing. I also see a lot of business owners making content with no call to action that does actually really well, but without the call to action, the content is kind of pointless. Because yeah, you may gain followers, but the goal of the content for a business is to actually get business and not followers, if that makes sense. This is another crucial mistake I see people making on Instagram. They don't have an optimized Instagram bio. So if you're making tons of successful content, but people have no reason to call to action on what your content is about. For example, if you're a business and you're making tons of cool content and your Instagram bio doesn't have a call out for them to take action to go to your business, your content is low-key pointless, right? So make sure when you're creating your content for your viewers to have awesome content, right? But actually to have a call to action. For example, hey guys, just letting you know, we sell cars and we have this deal on cars right now, blah, blah, blah. Come by at our website, whatever. This is crucial, guys, because the call to action is really the whole idea of why you're creating content, right? Maybe you're selling a course. You need to sell that in the content, if that makes sense. And this mistake I see happen all the time with Instagram creators. And that is, you've completely given up on Instagram. Maybe you've mastered the other algorithms like TikTok or YouTube, but you just can't get Instagram. My advice to you is to actually try to create content that's good for all the platforms and then just cross-post. What we use is a tool so you post once and it gets published on 6 different platforms. And with some time, it's gonna take off in all the algorithms because good content always does well. So my advice is to not concentrate on one, but to just concentrate on creating good content in all. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if you have questions. There you have it, guys, the top 10 mistakes I see people making on Instagram. This is for content creators, business owners, for anyone trying to go on Instagram. These are the secret tips. Well, they're mistakes. Don't make these mistakes. Hit me up in the comments if you have any further questions. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.